I've been missing you, and I hope we'll be together soon again at Indian Creek. But I want to share a story with you today, and the title of the story is Make Way for Ducklings. It was written a long time ago in 1941, actually, and the author is Robert McCloskey. Make way for ducklings. And that's why I have a duckling, a little duck, a mallard duck, with us today. Make way for ducklings. Mr. and Mrs. Mallard were looking for a place to live, but every time Mr. Mallard saw what looked like a nice place, Mrs. Mallard said it was no good. There were sure to be foxes in the woods or turtles in the water, and she was not going to raise a family where there might be foxes or turtles. So they flew on and on. Why do you think that she doesn't want to be where foxes and turtles might be? You guessed it, because they could hurt the baby ducklings. When they got to Boston, they felt too tired to fly any further. There was a nice pond in the public garden with a little island on it. The very place to spend the night, quite Mr. Mallard. So down they flapped. Why do you think an island would be a good place for a duck family to live? Next morning, they fished for their breakfast in the mud at the bottom of the pond, but they didn't find much. What do you think ducks would want to eat for breakfast? Maybe worms or crackers or breadcrumbs that the little visitors at the park might have left. Just then, they were getting ready to start on their way. A strange, enormous bird came by. It was pushing a boat full of people, and there was a man sitting on its back. "Good morning," quacked Mr. Mallard, being very polite. The big bird, though, was too proud to answer, but the people on the boat threw peanuts into the water, so the mallards followed them all round the pond and got another breakfast, better than the first. Why do you think the big bird didn't answer when Mr. Mallard said good morning to him? You're right, the big bird was just decoration on the boat. "I like this place," said Mrs. Mallard as they climbed out on the bank and waddled along. "Why don't we build a nest and raise our ducklings right in this pond? There are no foxes and no turtles, and the people feed us peanuts. What could be better?" "Good," said Mr. Mallard, delighted that at last Mrs. Mallard had found a place that suited her. But "Look out!" squawked Mrs. Mallard all of a dither. "You'll get run over." And when she got her breath, she added, "This is no place for babies with all those horrid things rushing about. We'll have to look somewhere else." Why do you think the boy on the bike didn't slow down? I think he was in a hurry and just really wasn't watching where he was going and wasn't expecting ducks to be around. So they flew over Beacon Hill and round the State House, but there was no place there. Why do you think why would ducks not want to live in a tall building? I think because they knew they were expecting some baby ducklings soon, and it could be just too dangerous for baby ducks because they may not be able to fly like their parents. They looked in Louisburg Square, but there was no water to swim in. What kind of place do you think the mallards are looking for? Maybe a place that's quiet, a place they can swim, that doesn't have a lot of traffic around it. Hopefully they'll find a good place soon. Then they flew over the Charles River. "This is better," quacked Mr. Mallard. "The island looks like a nice place, and it's only a little way from the public garden." "Yes," said Mrs. Mallard, remembering the peanuts. "That looks just like the right place to hatch ducklings." Do you think it would be a good place to hatch ducklings? I think it would be. So they chose a cozy spot among the bushes near the water and settled down to build their nest. and only just in time, for now they were beginning to molt. What does it mean to molt? That's right. All their old wing feathers started to drop out, and they would not be able to fly again until the new ones grew in. But of course they could swim, and one day they swam over to the park on the riverbank, and there they met a policeman called Michael. Michael fed them peanuts, and after that the mallards called on Michael every day. What does it mean that they called on Michael every day? Do you think they called on the telephone? No. It just means that they went to see Michael every day. Now, what I want you to do is get a piece of paper and draw where you think they should build their nest. And tomorrow we'll finish our story. We'll just start day 2 of our story. Thank you for listening.